Hi everyone, I'm here today with a different type of video. I won't be doing many like this, but maybe I'll do a couple here and there when I got an idea that I've saved a bit of time for myself or can save some time for other people as well. Here's my Kenzo. She's the one you always hear in the back on the videos. I have a fantastic love for this book, Whittling Carving Caricature Heads and Faces. I did a couple of videos on them. Really good tips through the books and how you do it. But what really got me was when I started cutting out bits of paper that would be the sizes for everything and so on. And I thought I'd share something with you today, which was this stuff. Reynolds cut right wax paper. This comes on a roll. I've had it for a few years. A friend of mine, Ilona, mentioned it to me one day and I said, yeah, I'll have a couple of boxes of that. It's like tracing paper, kind of. I used to use it when I build model aeroplanes as well, because you use the pin board underneath the green boards, put your plans on top and then put this on top of it. Then you can draw, or use super glue on, like when you're making the wings for the planes and things like that, and then it just peels off, rather than if you put it on a bit of paper it just sticks to it and it's a nightmare. You end up sanding it off. So what I started doing was using the wax paper, which is extremely clear through. I'm not going to get a pen and do anything here now, but everybody knows how to trace them, and I just trace things through. I mean, that is really successful, because then you end up obviously with the pen on there, but you end up with these that you can then cut out right to the edges, then get the block of woods, and then you can trace around the edge of the block with a felt pen, and then you've got all of the edges then that you want. And because it's got the front and the sides, or front and a side, then you're always going to end up with the shape that you want if you're going to cut out with a bandsaw, or even if you're doing it by hand and you're going to be doing it with a knife. All of this excess that you've got, you'll take off really quickly, rather than wondering how far do I go down, because you haven't got the measurements in by a few millimeters and up by a few millimeters or inches if you're working on the other side of the pond. So I don't know if anybody else has already thought of this and does this or anything, but it's a tip I wanted to share with other beginners or other people. I thought saved me a lot of time. I've done quite a few of the heads, as you can see back here. I'm not sure well you can see on camera, but even if you don't take the whole thing over, you just want the hat and then a different head or different shaped nose on it, you've got them all individually sort of done there, and the results you obviously get are things like these. Then, like I said, you can mix different hats. And then you got different mouths, different teeth. What's up, Kens? Stay there, chicken. I haven't finished painting him yet, but some of them I don't paint completely. But yeah, I mean, different jaw lines, different widths of mouth at the bottom, different length heads, noses in different places, mouth expressions. I think Johnny Layton's done a few videos recently on expressions, and one or two other people maybe as well. I even learned the ears from these as well. I mean, I'm still not perfected it, but it's better than having no ears, which is what I used to have. And again, You don't have to keep like the Confederate hats or anything like that. You can change them to a baseball cap or whatever you like from those. But I just thought I'd come up with that because it's really handy. And the other thing as well, at the same time, that was saving me time. But these blocks of wood will be in pieces of blocks of wood I had over from something else I cut it that would have been needed to be 5 inches or whatever length this is. And I wasn't having a use for these, so quite often I was thrown in the bin. And I do watch what cost I've got going into everything, and you know, that's a third of the cost of the wood, isn't it? And you're actually getting 2 pieces out of one now rather than just having the 1 piece, so you're getting double the amount of fun. So yeah, I mean, I've saved a lot of wood pieces now. I've got a few that I've still got on the go by here. Different shapes again, different sizes, different directions to the hats, whether the cap is the front with the peak on it, or whether it's like a Confederate hat and whatever it be, or maybe you'd have the baseball cap hiding the eyes underneath. Different shapes of the heads, as I said. You know, it's crazy. All these blocks of wood have been thrown out, so I found a few of them and I started drawing these on yesterday, and I thought, well, I'm going to share that because it is something I found very useful. So I hope that helps a bit, guys, but I thought I'd share that. And this is what I ended up doing from, I've actually thrown the pieces away now, but I did it with these, which is what I did on that video from the Pete Leclerc book. Is it even in there? Whereby is it? It's one of the main ones I thought that he was doing. Maybe I got it wrong. No, it is the right one. Oh no, different book. I'll have to cut that bit out. Where's the other book? Pete Leclerc Caricature busts. Yeah. So again, I didn't want it to be exactly the same. So which is why I mentioned earlier on in the other part of earlier in the video that you can take a hat, or you change a nose, or change the jaw lines and things. But I did, and this is what I discovered doing the tracing out bits. And as I said, I've thrown out the bits now. There's one bit still left here somewhere, I'm sure of it. Yeah, maybe I have thrown them out. That's weird. I thought I had my hand just now. But yeah, there's the Pete Leclerc one I did. As I said, I wanted to change a couple of things on there. I didn't want the ears so defined as what he's had it there, and I struggled to get the ears anyway doing well. But this is what I started realising I can trace them out and then put them on paper if I wanted to, draw roughly where everything needed to be, or even use a certain type of felt pen, do the permanent mark one side, and then use the one that doesn't set so quick on the other side, and then put it onto the block of wood and trace it back out over it, pressing down on the wax paper, transferring some of the ink over onto there. So again, it's just a bit of a tip that I thought I'd share with you, and what I've learned in the hobby that saves me quite a bit of time and helps me get the structure of all the faces and everything set right and everything. I swear I had that in Pete Leclerc just now. Weird. Here's in the book. Another bunch of the carving shapes that are in here as well, from all of his in here. And the other thing as well I like about the busts is you haven't got to carve an entire body. You haven't got to do the legs as well and the arms. etc. You're just trying to get a certain part of the body right, whether you're trying to get, as I said earlier on, facial expressions right. You know, you've only got the head to carve, you haven't got a whole figure to carve. Well, what I didn't want to do is just do a head of something and then waste the rest of the block below it. I mean, ideally, yes, we'd all want to, in an ideal world, as they say, we'd want to carve the pieces on here first and then turn it round and do the other one, then cut it in half. Well, you don't always have that size block that you can work from. Like I said, you got the scrap pieces, as I was calling them, that you've cut off. So yeah, hope you found that a little bit useful, guys. It's a little bit of a short video, but one I wanted to share with you all. So anyway, take care, have a good day. Take a look at the video I made of making this. Peter Clare Carving Caricature Busts. Fantastic book, highly recommend it. Well worth the money. Is it $12, $13, $14.99, and this one was $12.99. Again, highly recommend that book as well. I've learned quite a lot from them. Even that, I love that look with just the wood and then the eyes and the teeth just painted. I just think that's perfect. And I don't know if you've seen my videos, I ain't good on painting stuff. Even if the part I do get right, I don't like doing anyway. He was okay, but yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, thanks very much, guys. Thanks for those that watched right to the end. Very much appreciate it. Don't forget to click like and a comment underneath the video for me if you would. Always helps on the algorithm on YouTube, etc. Okay, take care, have a great day, bye.